Bingeaholics Anonymous. We're live, and we're here to talk about the season finale of Taboo. I'm Anthony. I'm here with Paul. What's going on?
Nothing much. Still a little sick. Just trying to recover from that.
Yeah, you sound worse, and by worse it means you sound less sick. Remember how I said I liked it better when you talk sick?
Yeah. Well, I've been contemplating just keeping myself sick or making myself sicker because of your advice. But I just haven't decided if I want to fully commit to just, sleeping outside naked to get really sick yet.
It's definitely a bold step forward. Um, but I think you should do it. That's just me.
I mean, I'm almost there. I'm almost convinced that I should do it.
Yeah, what do you have to lose, honestly?
Exactly. If I get really sick and I die, I could be remembered forever on the internet.
Exactly. And if that happens, we go viral and our podcast shoots up the charts.
There you
And
go.
so you know what, I might have to pull some strings over there.
I
Um,
mean, as long as I'm forever somewhere on Bingeaholics, I'll do it for the podcast.
I'll take your most embarrassing quote from every episode we've ever done, and I'll make that like our intro.
Okay, I'm sold. If I'm the intro to the show, I'm sold on the idea.
All right, so I'll be over later tonight to smother you in your sleep.
Okay.
All right.
What's going on with you? What are you watching?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm watching. It's I watched a documentary recently, and at first I didn't even believe that it was a documentary. It was so ridiculous. But it's called King of Kong Fistful of Quarters, and
What the fuck?
I don't know. I guess you've never seen it. It's about
No.
the all-time high score in Donkey Kong, like the old arcade game, like the original. And
Oh no, I never even heard of that.
dude, like I'm telling you, you would enjoy it. Like so, like the unintentional comedy in that documentary is off the charts. Like these people dedicate their lives to like trying to set this Donkey Kong score, and there was like it was this whole thing where this one guy had the record set, and no one thought that they could ever break his record. And there's like one random guy like in his garage in like California somewhere like bought a machine and he beat it. He sent the tape into like the official like. There's like some other guy who was like a loser too, like runs this whole thing where he like grades all these high scores in these arcade games, and he's like the judge, he's like the official referee of it, and there was all this like debate or whether he like it was a tainted machine, like whether he you know you know switch some wires around or something. So it was just there was all this controversy and all this drama, and oh god, it was so
Dude,
funny.
if that could be a documentary that is watched by people and like I would assume like gets sold and stuff like that, I feel like we could make a fucking documentary about anything at this point.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. This was like as ridiculous as it sounds, it was actually really, really interesting. Like the guy who held the record originally, he's this guy that like he has like this long black flowing hair and like his goatee, and
Oh, I think I know the guy.
yeah, it was like
Just
Brian Mitchell or something. I think that was his name.
because I remember watching like a documentary, but it wasn't on Donkey Kong. I think it was just on like random like old school arcade stuff.
It
And
was probably him. He held a bunch of high scores. He
okay,
was like the guy in like arcade gaming for a while. It's just like,
okay. Did he talk
I,
about like his own hot sauce line or something?
yes,
Okay, I know
yes,
exactly what you're
yes.
talking about.
Yep.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it was so funny because apparently there's all these like get-togethers like around the country where like these kind of people just get together in like arcades and they just like eat pizza, drink soda, and like like
Really?
play arcade games. And this
And these
one guy,
people are probably like in their 40s, right? Like these are older
this
people doing it,
was
or
this took place maybe like around 10 years ago, so probably more like the 30s. Now they're
okay.
probably in their 40s. But the guy who sent the tape in that everyone said he cheated, like he kept showing up to try and face this guy like one on one to like settle it. and
Yeah.
the guy wouldn't show up, but like he would have his other like his friends, but they were more like his minions, like other like gamers that were like really really like just I don't want to be mean, but just like pathetic people, and they would just like stand over his shoulder, and like this one guy kept running to the payphone in the corner. He's like, "Yeah, he's sold his first life, and he has 500,000," and he kept running back and forth, like giving
Oh
him
my
updates, and the guy's
god.
just sitting there in his house, and they're filming him while he's in his house, like receiving the phone calls, and they're like, "You gonna go?" He was just like, "I don't need to go. There's no reason for me to go," and
Oh my god.
well,
I think I need to watch this documentary.
you absolutely do. It's about like a little less than an hour and a half. You should watch this honestly after we finish this podcast because it's that good.
I think I might have to. I'm sold on the part of the guy won't face the challenger, so he sends his minions to inform him about what's happening.
Yeah. Oh, and then to cap it all off, this guy he sets the record on the tape, and then he shows up at one of these arcade gatherings, or whatever, and he doesn't beat that score, but he like still gets like higher than the other guy's score. So it's like official that everyone like kind of accepts it. And then like right after he beats it, the one guy who had the original record, he had his minion holding on to a tape the whole time. And he put the tape in, and then like on the tape they played, like everyone sat around watching. It's like VHS tape where he like blew the other guy's score out of the water, but then like they were saying that one was fake too.
Oh my god.
It was absolutely ridiculous. There's one guy, he's not even one of the main characters. He's just like some guy that just hangs around all these people, and he was just like, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I just play Donkey Kong.
Oh Jesus.
I was just dying with her, but so much unintentional comedy, so much awkwardness. It's 10 out of 10. You gotta watch it.
It's it is. I don't want to like single out a group of people or like a hobby or whatever, but like most like gamers, like people that like play like arcade games or like actually like game, they're awkward as fuck.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
like they are just super do not know how to handle themselves. I mean, I went to this last year. I went to a convention for Final Fantasy 14 in Vegas. The amount of like just weird, awkward people walking around that just don't know what to do around other human beings was astonishing. I don't want to be like super mean, but like the smell alone was just so bad. And like, look, I'm all for like you love the game. I love the game too. That's why I went. Like I went because I love playing the game. I went with a bunch of friends, and it's Vegas, and we went to have a good time. I went on my vacation, but it's just like there's just so many people that are just like really awkward. Like we were in an elevator with like probably like 15 people, like cramped into an elevator, and this one dude was super fat, super smelly, and he was in the back of the elevator trying to talk to everybody, and it's just awkward. Like he didn't know how to make conversation.
yeah,
So I can only imagine that documentary with the amount of like awkwardness that happens.
no,
It's cringeworthy.
it's great. And listen, I play a lot of video games. You play a lot of video games, but we can carry on a conversation. We're not
Yeah.
like these weirdos that like just lurking in the corners.
But
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just crazy. Like I like to this point, like I never really thought about it that way until like I went to this thing in Vegas, and I was just like, dude, half the people that I play this game with just don't know how to talk to each other in real life. Like
yeah,
they need that keyboard like there. It's fucking crazy.
yeah. I mean, so if you've been in a situation like that, you could definitely appreciate this documentary.
Yeah, I'll have to
So
check it out.
so yeah, King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters.
It's a great
Um,
name too.
right, it is great. Definitely check it out. So yeah, we'll hop into Taboo, episode 8, the season finale. We left off last episode. I don't have to look back at my notes. I remember. James was sitting down with Sir Stuart Strange in the prison cell, ready to start talking. This episode picks up. Zilpha just jumps off a bridge, no
Yeah.
warning, just like walks off the bridge. We'll get a little bit. It's that a little bit later because it comes up again. This was just kind of setting the tone, I guess. But basically, so after that, James is sitting in a cell. He's talking to So Strange. Um, basically, James is just telling him everything that he could use to blackmail him.
Yeah.
He tells him how he used company men to run his own slave ships. He used an American flag to like get through certain areas, which is treason, which is actually what James is being charged with. But
Yep.
and he kind of talks about his past a little bit, about what happened after the ship went down. He said he was rescued by an African man. And I forgot exactly how the conversation went, but there was one thing that James said was, "I've seen darkness you cannot conceive." Like just talking about some of the things he went through, and I was just kind of, I don't know, I thought that was a cool line.
He was saying like, yeah, he says that, and he was saying like the stuff that he did in Africa makes like what the company does look like child play.
Yeah,
Doesn't even compare to like what he's done in Africa. So can only imagine like the fucked up shit that he's fucking done.
yeah. And the funny thing is, he's like, "Yeah, but I'm not like I'm not being tried for that right now, so we don't have to talk about that."
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Basically, he blackmails Strange to get a ship. And yeah, it works. I mean, you could tell by the end of that conversation, Strange got terrified.
Yeah. It starts off like he's kind of like dismissive of James. He's just like, oh yeah, whatever, whatever. And then like by the end of, like you said, like he's okay, fuck, like
Yeah,
now I have to do this now. And like even later in the episode, somebody like comes up to Strange and asks him like, why are you doing all this? And I think he's just like, he's like, because Delaney's crazy, because I'm fucking crazy. Like he's just so like bent out of shape because James has him against the ropes right now.
yeah. No, he definitely has him against the
And this is
ropes.
like arguably one of the most powerful people in England,
Right.
because he's the head of the company. So to have James Delaney, this guy that was in Africa that everybody thought was dead, to have him, Stuart Strange, scared is something.
Yeah, no, and this all happens in the course of one conversation.
Yeah.
He's able to just like have this guy scared and working for him. With like the most powerful company in the world at his back.
Yep.
So after that conversation, his little brother starts running around. He opens up the safe or the chest that he gave him the key to, and there's a bunch of letters in it. And he proceeds to deliver the letters to the League of the Damned. Basically, final instructions, which it seems like he's had this planned out, like to the T almost.
Yeah. Yep. Like he's known kind of exactly what was gonna happen, and he has like a plan for it. And I remember, when Winter, I'm not when Winter got killed. When the ship blew up, I kind of thought he was like done for. It was like, oh shit!
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if the last couple episodes he's gonna be like going crazy, and he like rebounded pretty quick, and he just has like a plan already, good to go.
Yeah, in the span of like an episode and a half, he makes a plan and executes it almost flawlessly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but we'll get into that. So he starts, handing out the letters. Well, this is going on. Delaney is trying to. I can't tell if he's like actually sick or if he's just kind of trying to stall, but he starts like foaming at the mouth, and he can't go talk to the the interrogators or whatever. What did you think of that?
I don't think he was actually sick. I think he was using some kind of like black magic to make it look real. Because I don't know. I don't think I could foam at the mouth like that, right? Like without.
Not unless you have rabies.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think he's like, because I think he was like chanting something in like whatever the fuck he was like African like before he did all that. So maybe he was saying some kind of like spell or some shit to like make him foam at the mouth. I think he did it on purpose. I don't think he was actually sick.
That's possible. I mean, if someone were to have rabies, he would be at the top of my list of people to have rabies.
Yeah.
Just because you never know what he's up to.
Yeah, that's true.
But after that whole scene goes down, you start to see his plans start coming in motion. So you have Helga and the other prostitute being held by the East India Company, some mansion or whatever. And the fat guy. Did we ever come up with a name for the fat guy?
No, I think we just called him Fat Guy. That's how
Okay.
in this episode of my notes I have Fat Guy.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too. So the fat guy, he puts them on a little stagecoach, carriage, whatever, and he ends up bringing them out into the woods to Atticus. Um, and then
Did you know that they were bringing them to Atticus at that point, like when that first happened?
I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
I,
because
th-
like
I thought maybe he was going to try and kill them to like
that's what. Yeah,
James or something. I wasn't sure.
yeah. I thought that's like they were gonna do something in that because I remember with the coming attractions, um, for this last episode, Strange like in one of the scenes is like, "Oh, I still have an ace up my sleeve," but I don't remember him saying that in the actual episode. Uh, I don't know if you remember him or noticed him.
Wait, this episode or earlier?
This episode, like the last week when we had the coming attractions for this one, the season finale.
Yeah,
Strange at one point in that is like, "Oh, I have a ace up my sleeve."
I feel like he said that like in his last scene.
Did he? Okay, because I didn't hear him say it in this episode.
Okay, he might have said it in his last scene, but we'll get to that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I remember him saying it like right before,
Okay.
you know. But yeah, so they bring the girls out to Atticus, and Atticus just kills the fat man.
Yeah, even though, according to the fat guy, his master and Atticus' master made a deal where the fat guy wouldn't get shot.
Yeah, exactly.
He just gets shot in the head anyway.
Yeah, it was. It's what happens when you deal with these ruffians. There's not much you can do to stop that.
Yeah, what makes you think you can trust people that are in the League of the Damned?
What makes you think you can trust someone that has a fucking compass tattoo on their head?
For real, like, come on, I'm not trusting that guy.
Like that's not a scary tattoo just because of how it looks. It's a scary tattoo of like, why would you get a fucking compass tattooed on your head?
Yeah, exactly. On your head. Like,
Yeah.
why do you have a compass tattoo? First of all, unless like, okay, maybe you like traveling in the sea, I guess, whatever. But why your head?
Yeah,
It can't be like a very smooth process to get tattooed back then on your fucking skull. Like,
yeah. It's not like, it's not like he has the compass tattoo somewhere where he could like use it to his advantage. Not that not that it moves or anything. It's like it's on your forehead. You can't even or on the top of your head. You can't even see it.
yeah, he's just that's still a sign of a crazy person.
Just an outrageous tattoo. Almost as bad as the Samoan guy.
Yeah,
But at least that's more like cultural. Like, a lot of Samoan people have that. Like, no one has a compass tattoo on their head.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, but so yeah, he sets them up. He kills them. Kills the fat man. When they're in the carriage, Lorna's in there too. Or does she come in later, or is she in there with them?
she is in the second carriage.
Okay, yeah. So she brings the raccoon kid with them to tell Helga that it wasn't James that killed Winter. It was
Yep.
the East India Company. She doesn't, she kind of like feels bad about everything she did at that point. You kind of see on her face
She should feel bad for her aim.
for not killing James.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, then she would feel even worse if she killed him.
but I just feel like if you're gonna do something, you better do it right. And if you're gonna take a shot at James, you better kill him.
Yeah, but you can tell he doesn't hold it against her because he still rescues her.
I would have.
You would have held it against her?
Yeah,
Oh, I would have too. Yeah.
I've been like, this terrible fucking shot. Fuck you. I didn't get, like, I don't know. I just
First of all, you can't shoot for shit. Second of all,
you missed twice.
you shot at me. Fuck you. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. But for as crazy as James is, there's still a good side to him.
Yeah,
And
that's true. A little bit.
he has some decency. Like if you cross him, well, actually she crossed him, but I mean, if you get on his wrong side, he'll gut you and slice the back of your legs from your ass crack to your Achilles.
Yeah, if you piss him off enough, if you push him over the edge, he'll do that to you.
Yeah, he'll do some fucked up shit. But after this, Lorna goes to see Countess Musgrove, and she basically blackmails her into getting the letter to help him get through the blockade or
Yeah,
whatever. Um,
but doesn't give her the rights to Nuka Sound.
Musgrove?
Yeah, because she asked Lauren, she's like, "Oh, we get the rights to the land," and Lauren is just like, "No," and says something along the lines of like, I don't know, like you have a leak, and James will take care of it.
Yeah, something like that. But doesn't she threaten her with about Oh, no, she threatens to tell the British about her American loyalties.
Yeah.
And that's how she kind of gets it out of her.
Mm.
Um, so Lorna gets a letter. Flashback to James in the prison. He finally is feeling a little bit better, and he goes to talk to uh, go talk to the interrogators again. Oh, yeah, the interrogators, and just starts speaking gibberish, just absolute gibberish. I don't know if he was actually speaking a language or if he was just actually speaking gibberish. I don't know what you thought about that, but
I I don't know either. I thought he was just speaking nonsense.
yeah, I don't know. He was acting all kinds of crazy. Um, yeah, so he's speaking gibberish, and then they're like, "Are you going to tell us something or not?" And he's like, "You promised you tell us something." He was like, "Did I? I must have lied." I
Yeah.
was just like,
I started laughing. He's just like sitting there and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know all about this, blah blah blah." And then he's like, "All right, well you promised to tell us and confess." He's like, "I must have lied." I was just like, I was like, "Okay."
yeah, the way he said it, he was like, "Did I? I must have lied."
It's like, "All right, James, thanks."
Um, yeah, yeah, but in this is where I kind of got lost for a little bit. He gets released after that. How? How does he get released? What does he say to them to get released?
um,
I don't know if I missed something or
yeah, because it's like what he basically I don't know what the fuck he did, but it was something to do with the East India Company and the Crown, and they just had to like let him go. They couldn't like hold him anymore. Oh, you know what it was? I think it's because wasn't the East India Company the one bringing up the evidence for his treason, and then the East India Company like withdrew all their claims from it, so they had no evidence against him at that point. I think that's what happened. I think
because he
because
talked
he
to
was
Strange.
yeah. So when he was
Okay,
blackmailing him, and the East India Company is the one that went to the Crown and was like, "All right, this is what he did," all this kind of shit is treason, and then now they have no evidence because the East India Company just wasn't going to testify or supply evidence, so they had no choice but to just let him go.
gotcha. Now, I feel like that like I feel like that wasn't said because I don't remember. Like I feel like I would remember something like that being said. Maybe it was just more implied.
Yeah, I don't think in the conversation in the beginning between Strange and Delaney they actually like say anything about withdrawing like the company's claims for treason against him.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that I remember, at least. But I'm pretty sure when he gets released, that's what it was. It's just like he basically blackmailed Strange, and then the company just decided to like drop their claims against him for treason.
Gotcha. Um. So yeah, he gets released. He goes home to get some last minute stuff before his big trip, and he sees Zilpa's suicide note. Please stop coughing while I'm talking.
I can't help it, man. Like I don't have
A
I'm on
gag
my
reflex.
Just what I was gonna say. I'm on my laptop and it doesn't have USB ports, so I don't have the little part of the mic that you can like mute real quick. So if I have to mute it, I have to actually like go onto my laptop and like scroll, and I just don't have enough time to like do that before I start coughing.
There's no like button on your headset.
No, because the button that they have for that is attached to the USB part of it, and I can't use that on my laptop.
Gotcha.
So it's fuck, it's really shitty. But dude, I just want to. It's just a side note, real quick. I went to the doctor to like figure out what was wrong with me. They did some tests or whatever. I don't think she even knows what's wrong with me because she just gave me a laundry list of shit to go take. She told me to take Claritin or like some kind of allergy medication. She gave me an inhaler. She gave me prescription cough medicine. She gave,
Oh,
and then
we might have to share some of that later.
well, good because it doesn't work, so we'll talk about it. And then she told me to take like this nasal spray. She had like 4 different fucking things to take to fix this, and like I was like, okay,
like just carpet bomb it, just
yeah, that's what it felt like.
Cover all bases.
She's like, listen, just take a shit ton of medication, different kinds, and all this shit, and one of them hopefully will work. I was just like, all right, I don't really have a choice, so that's where I'm at.
That was today. She told you?
No, this was yesterday. I left work early. I went to the walk-in, and then yeah, she gave me like all this shit to go do.
How's that working for you?
Last night was terrible. You know what the problem is? It's just that like I can't once I start coughing, I can't really stop that much, and like sometimes I'll cough for like a minute or two straight. Right, I can't stop, and if I'm in bed laying down, because of my back surgery, like the motion that you make when you like start coughing like that,
yeah,
fucking kills my back. Like shooting pain, like on a scale of 1 to 10, about a 9. So I just can't lay down. That's why I didn't go to bed until like 3 in the morning the other night.
Gotcha.
So, but now like today it's a little bit better. I haven't been coughing as much, so I guess the carpet bombing has worked a little bit. So hopefully I'll be all good by Sunday for billions and whatnot.
Gotcha. You better be.
I'll try.
So where were we? So yeah, he goes home. He sees Zilpha's suicide note, and
do you think she's dead?
I don't. That's okay.
Yeah,
so I
okay.
was gonna wait until we get to this part. I don't think she's dead. You know, it's just first of all, whenever I watch a show, unless I see the person actually die, I don't believe they're dead.
Like Winter, like how we saw her all cut up.
Yeah,
like
then you know she's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Zilpha, I don't know what she's doing because he says at one point, I can't hear her. Like I can usually hear the dead and I can't hear her.
Dude, I like how Lorna's reaction. Hold on, did I write it down? I didn't think I write it down, but she's just like she says that to her, and she's just like, James, the dead don't sing. She's just like, dude, you're fucking psycho. What's wrong with you? Because he's like, oh, if she's really dead, I would know it. I would hear her. You know, if she was in the river, she would sing to me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, man. Lorna's just like, dude, dead don't sing. Like, she's dead.
I mean, I tell you what, Lorna, she's a ride or die bitch.
She really is.
Because like after he said that, she was like, you know, this is something we could think about in America. Like, we don't have to do this here. Like, let's go, you know. And he's like, you're right. And that's what got him up and going.
Dude, I hated her when she got first introduced.
Me too. I remember we were talking about like wanting her out in the next like 3 episodes. Like, yeah, she'll come in, she'll be like a bad guy for a little bit, and then like, you know, she'll serve her peace and leave.
Yeah.
No, but I fuck with her now. I'm all Team Lorna. Yeah, so they start heading over to the boat. Mr. Chichester, George, as we like to call him. I have written down that he gets fucked over.
I mean, he does.
He does, but then he doesn't at the end. But in this
Yeah.
part, I'm trying to remember how this happened because for those of you who don't realize, we're recording this the day after we watched it. Little cross up of the lines. I ended up falling asleep.
I
Whole
didn't
thing.
call him. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you
was a
didn't
bunch of
call me.
stuff.
Yeah, so we're recording this the day after. Do you remember? Because it was right after that scene with Lorna and James, and then I say he gets fucked over. I don't remember exactly.
Um,
Oh wait,
remember?
no, I don't. I remember what happens after.
So basically, I think it's just that like James like withdrew his testimony, like isn't gonna confess or anything, and then Godfrey is also taking back like and won't supply his written confession about what what he heard. So basically, the two big things that George was gonna use to get them are just
Yeah.
outgoing. Like neither one of them are gonna comply and like confess and talk about it.
Okay.
So I think that's when he goes to Strange himself to like confront him or some shit, and Strange is just like, "Oh man, like no, we complied, and that's what it's gonna look like."
Yeah, and he like basically laughs him out of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So after that, Delaney goes to meet with the American doctor. Um, and this guy thinks he's so slick. He's like, turns out he's been working with the East India Company also this whole time. And he's like,
Yeah.
I'll give you the letter, but like you have to sign over a Nuka Sound or something.
See, okay, yeah. So I was a little confused when he's like, "I'll give you a letter," because I was like, "Dude, didn't Carlsbad give him a letter already? What, like, what's going on right now?" And then I like after it happened, I realized like what was
Yeah,
going on.
I think that was the ace in the sleeve actually. Strange's
Okay,
ace in the sleeve.
that makes sense.
Yeah, he might have said it when George came to talk to him or something like
Okay.
because I was like the scene right before. Um, but yeah, so it turns out he's working for the East India Company. He's like, just sign this, I'll give you your letter. And like James acts like he's going along with it. And I couldn't tell for sure, but it looked like he pulled like the Joker move, like watch me make this pen disappear. Because he was like holding the
Oh,
pen and he like slammed his head on the desk. I couldn't tell if he like I don't think he did because I think he was still alive after that.
yeah. I didn't. I just like saw him slam his head right to the table. I didn't catch if he like had the pen there or anything like that.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
did you expect that?
did I?
Like for the American spy to be working for the company? Like, did you put that together
No,
based on
I
like? Okay,
not before this scene.
okay, because
I
I
had no
didn't
idea.
either.
But if you think about it, um, James was going to him less and less as the show went on,
Yeah,
and I felt like every time they talked, it was more it was more like a strained relationship.
yeah, and plus like Lorna says to Carlsbad, like you have a leak or whatever, and we'll fix it. But I didn't like put any of it together until I saw him slam his fucking head to the table.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, okay, what the fuck?
yeah, and in true James Delaney fashion, he slams his head on the table, pours whatever concoction he gave to him down his throat to like make it so he couldn't like fight back.
Yep.
Drowned him in a thing of blue ink, and then hung him up above the red ink and gutted him and let him just bleed out into the red ink. And I thought it was a nice little bit of symbolism in there. It was the red for his guts. He had a white shirt and a blue face,
Yeah.
a little red, white, and blue. And he had like the letter stapled to him.
Yep.
The letter he wanted him signed.
Good old James Delaney
Yep.
making the statement with every kill.
Yeah. I mean, even if this show doesn't, the rest of if there's a second season, which there should be the way it left off, should definitely be a second season. Um, if there is or isn't, either way, I'm happy just with his savagery.
Yeah.
like that alone makes this a watchable show for me, and everything else just makes it even better.
Yeah.
But his savagery definitely helps that out. Now, after that, I don't remember when this happened. Again, we're recording this day after, but I have Banana Man gets capped.
Banana Man, yeah.
Why did he get shot? What happened? What was he doing?
So he was the one commandeering the ship for Delaney and his crew,
Okay.
and making sure that, I guess, like overseeing the loading of everything and kind of just like there to make sure everything went smoothly, I guess. And that crazy guy just I don't even know who that guy was, but one of his crew just shoots him in the fucking head.
Was it French Bill? I think it was French Bill. The guy with the beard?
Yeah. Is that,
Yeah.
is that what you're calling him?
Well, that's his name. They call him French Bill.
Oh, that's his name in the show? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
His name is his name is French Bill, and the guy who plays him is a British rapper by the name of Scroobius Pip.
Okay. Yeah, so French Bill shoots him in the fucking head. Which is great because that man was fucking creepy. Who I'll never forget the scene where he like was walking up the street saying, "Oh, did you get the bananas I left on your desk?" And then immediately gets like forced into the wall and yelled at, and his face is just like one of complete like utter confusion. He's just like, why are you yelling at me? Did you not like the fucking bananas?"
But what about the bananas?
Banana Man. Yeah, Banana Man got shot.
So he gets capped.
By the way, I thought it was really boss how like Atticus just at one point is like, everybody get off my streets, and everybody just runs.
Yeah. He just fires a shot up in the air, and everyone just knows. Like when Atticus is there, you get off the fucking street.
Yeah. Go home.
But so once the prince finds out that James escaped or was let free from prison, he orders him killed.
Yeah, he's basically just giving up.
Yeah, his last.
Doesn't care.
I mean, again, we say this every time he comes up, but I feel like he gets more and more grotesque every time he pops up on the screen.
They also did a really close up to his face this time.
That's true. That was very, very close. And what do you like? I guess his makeup, but like, how do you like make someone look like that? It's just so revolting.
I I want to know why they made him look like that. Was that kind of like how like the prince looked back then? Like I don't know. They just wanted to make him look really fucking gross and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
like, is that just like an early version of like chemical peels? Like, I guess how people like do the chemical shit on your skin to like, I don't know, peel it and make it look better. Is that like a early example of that? And just got fucked up. I mean, because he looks terrible. He looks like his skin's gonna like bubble and fall off and pop. I don't even want to imagine what it was like naked because his body's just all different types of sizes everywhere.
He's got that elephantitis stick.
He's just always eating food too.
Always, and it's always like greasy chicken. It's just like he's like,
or like a really big fucking egg.
Oh yeah, the fucking dinosaur egg.
Dude, it didn't even like good egg either. Like it's just like he like that shit out. It's just like gooey,
like
mush.
Soupy, yeah.
Ugh, fuck that guy.
That's gross. Oh yeah, no, his face looks like it's like about to explode every time he hops on the screen.
Yeah, maybe we don't have to watch him anymore now that we're out of the season.
Hopefully not. So yeah, this is everything from here on out. Kind of happened like real quick, bang, bang, bang. So the prince orders to kill Delaney. There's that ambush at the gate, which is like I've been waiting for that all season because like that explosion at the gate was like in the original trailer that came out. So I was just like,
oh really?
Yeah, I was just like waiting for that. So there's an ambush at the gate. Everyone's running around shooting. Helga gets shot. Lorna gets shot. Lorna survives though. She gets onto the thing. Dr. Chumley just blown the fuck up.
He is out of his mind. He is such a fucking crazy fuck. He was like yelling and screaming and shit, I think, when he was like throwing grenades at people.
He's just sitting there throwing like sacks of gunpowder with like fuses attached to him. Not even and those primitive grenades, but like it's like those are like cloth bags filled with gunpowder, just tossing them like with the fuse attached. Um, he gets blown up. They take off the ship. Finally, they all get on the ship. They're able to leave. And then Strange is sitting there laughing, ha ha ha! I got away with everything. And he opens up a letter, it blows him up.
Yep.
Um, Mr. George Chichester ends up getting his testimonies. He goes to Delaney's house and Brace is there, who he set Brace free, which I thought was kind of fucked up the way he did this.
Yeah.
He was just like, you can't have freedom because you wouldn't know what to do with it. It's
Yeah,
like,
like super dickish to him all of a sudden. Like he says that, and he's like, um, like you're so used to my father's world. We're going to my mother's world now. You have no place there,
yeah,
or something like that.
yeah. It's like, how about you try me? I never had freedom. I'd love to give it a shot.
Dude,
Like,
poor Brace, man. Like the
yeah,
last couple episodes, either he's been super depressed in bed crying, or just getting ticked over left and right. Like I just feel bad for the guy at this point.
yeah. It's almost like I forgot what like movie or book this is from, but like, there's the kid wants his dog to go back into the wild, so he's like yelling at him. He's like, "Get out of here! I don't want you anymore!" Starts like
Uh,
throwing rocks at him. Like that's what this reminded me of.
yeah,
Um,
I felt bad for him.
but so yeah, he goes. Mr. George Chichester goes to Delaney's house looking for him, and Brace is just sitting there. And at first, you think he's kind of depressed,
Yeah.
but then he like tells him where the stuff is, and you can tell he's actually kind of happy. At least that's how I took it. He kind of had like a smile on his
Um.
face.
Yeah, I think because like at least now he knows um like I guess James is out of his life,
Yeah, he doesn't do these
and
crazy ass Delaney's anymore.
yeah, and James I guess pretty much left everything
Yeah, oh yeah, he
to
said he
him.
left everything in his name. Yeah,
So I
that's
mean,
right.
he just went from not having any freedom to being, I guess, pretty decently rich with nice house or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, he definitely left him pretty well off. Um, and then so George gets the testimonies. I just want to say he's reading the letters. Delaney has really neat handwriting for just savage.
That sounds to say for a fucking psycho. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting handwriting for a savage like that. And then it flashes back to the boat for a little bit, and they show Chumley again. He's not doing so hot.
Yeah, no, he's not.
He's just burnt to fuck.
He Now he was talking to Godfrey when he was sitting there, and he asked for forgiveness for what he did. What was? Do you know what he's talking about?
I just kind of took it as like him kind of like almost like a fever dream kind of thing
Okay.
because he was I think he kept calling him Angela or something. He's like, Angela, forgive me for what I did.
Okay.
Like, I think he just saw him wearing the wig and the dress and everything and just like thought it
Gotcha.
was like an ex-girlfriend or something.
Yeah, I mean that guy was fucking a lot of women. Like,
Yeah.
let's just flash back to the early episode where like his brother's passing out around the letters, and he goes into like the room. He's just like on the floor, head sideways against the wall, with a naked woman in the bed.
Yeah.
Like that dude has the life. He just goes to parties with rich people, gets them all high, gets high himself, and then just fucks random housewives.
That's like about the best life you could have back then.
Yeah,
Because I mean, think about it. Like, you don't have to drive. You don't really have to do anything like important. Especially him. Like, he's not. He doesn't really do anything important. So he can just sit around getting fucked up all day. And he makes
yeah.
a decent living because of his profession. And it's just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna have a shitload of fun. Um. So yeah, they're on the boat. They're going, and turns out he's hanging on to the gunpowder.
Yep.
He's not bringing it to the Americans, and he says he has to make a stop in the Azores Islands. Um, Now, do you know where those are?
No, I'm just gonna assume that they're. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm assuming they're going like Africa maybe or somewhere near it. I have no clue where those are. To be honest with you.
Now the Azores Islands are. Hold on. They are off the coast of Portugal.
Oh,
They're like between Portugal and like Africa, like kind of.
okay.
So he says he needs to see a man named Colonnade, 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 Colonnade.
I, I don't know.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you were there anymore. I was just.
No, I don't. I'm not sure how to pronounce it so or remember it. So I'm just letting you do your thing. You're the one that was pronouncing. What was it, George?
um, but yeah, I feel like that name kind of popped up earlier in the season though. Colonnade, because
It might have.
didn't didn't Lorna mention that when she went to go talk to Countess Musgrove? She was like, "Oh, this new," when she was like pretending to be like the makeup salesman, whatever. She's like, "Oh, this new powder called Colonnade," or something like that.
Yeah. Now you say that, that actually sounds about right.
So I think Colonnade. I don't know about Colonnade. But so I mean, and that's where the season. That's where it left off. That's where it ended. Um, so there's definitely gonna be season two based off of that. If it'll be on FX, I don't know. It'll probably definitely be on BBC
Yeah.
because that's where it's like originally on. But whether FX will pick up the second season or not remains to be seen. I think they should. I definitely think they should. Um,
I think so too. I mean, I I think is a good enough show where like especially now that the first season is done, you gotta figure like more people are going to hear about it now. You're going to have like the promotional shit going around for maybe like the Blu-ray set and stuff. So I think they'll have a big enough following um, that like it will warrant a second season. I'd be surprised if they didn't do it.
yeah, it's so I just looked it up. Nothing official has come out yet, but Tom Hardy said he's confident that there will be a season two.
Well, I think that just means that there will be then, because he's gonna do some like face paint black magic voodoo shit, and then it'll happen.
Yeah, it's hard for me to distinguish or to differentiate, uh, Tom Hardy and James Delaney. I,
I just always like picture Tom Hardy with the top hat and the trench coat and James Delaney's
that's just
eyes.
how he walks around his house,
Yeah, dude, if
just
that's what I would do,
just eating onions.
if well, I don't know about if I'd be eating onions and shit, but if I played James Delaney on TV, I'd fucking walk around with that top hat. Dude, he makes it work, man. He looks like a crazy badass.
He rocks the fuck out of that top hat.
Exactly. I'd do that. I'd walk around like that.
Yeah, there's not many people these days can pull off the top hat. He does it
No,
well.
he
He
does,
does
and
it
that
well.
look, that look in his eyes, that
The,
scary. Like I don't know if you're gonna kill me or let me live. Look and being a
it
fucking
was,
psycho.
when I was in college, I was at a party once, and there's this weird kid that we used to like. He used to kind of hang around like with like me and my friends,
Right.
but like he wasn't, like we didn't tell him he was like a decent enough kid to not tell him just completely fuck off, but
Yeah.
like he was kind of weird, and we were at a party and something happened with him and another kid, and he was just like standing across the room staring at him. And this kid goes, "I can't tell if he wants to fight me or fuck me. What do you want?" He's like yelling at him from across the
Oh
room,
my god.
and that's kind of the look that Tom James whatever is given. You can't tell if he wants to fight him or fuck him.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I like the show. I like it, and honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, with Zilpha, I think she might have like snuck her way onto that ship somehow.
Yeah, I could. She's definitely not dead. I highly doubt she's dead. Just because like she jumped into like I guess like the river and whatnot, and there's been a lot of like flashbacks in the river.
Yeah,
So I highly doubt her just jumping into the river like actually killed her.
I could see her just like clawed onto like the hull of the ship, just like hanging there, just like
Yeah.
while they're on the open sea.
Yep.
Um, yeah, but I'm curious to see what Mr. James Delaney has to do in the Azores Islands.
Yeah.
It should be interesting to get a nice change of scenery because you're going from dreary, drab London to like some tropical kind of islands. So it's definitely a change of scenery.
Yeah. And I guess like maybe season 2 will be there, and then season 3, if they have that, would I guess be like Nooka Sound or whatever, like America type shit.
Yeah, I guess it would be him like making his way to America,
Yeah.
or yeah, I mean, I because it took him a full season to get out of London.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like this, even though this season I thought was really good, I think it was just the beginning. You
Yeah.
know,
No, I think so too. I is that I hate to compare it to like the Young Pope, but like Young Pope started strong, just like Taboo did, and then Young Pope like fell off, halfway through. But Taboo kept me interested the whole time. For all 8 episodes, every week I was like ready to tune into it. Wanted to know what was going to happen next. It was just like, oh shit, like what's going on? So yeah, no, I'm super happy. I enjoyed the first season a lot.
yeah, no, yeah, I'm excited to see where they'll take it. Um, any closing words on the season?
Um, did we want to rate the season? Like, cause everything we've kind of done so far.
We rated. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We could rate the season. We could rate the season.
Okay.
Um, you go first.
Okay. So I thought about this for a long time, and by a long time I mean the time it took me from get to get in the elevator and get up to my apartment. Uh, um, no, I thought about it, and for the season 1 of Taboo, I'm gonna give it a very, very, very solid 9 out of 10.
Okay, 9 out of 10. Um, yeah, I don't hate that, and I'm gonna go with an 8.4. Now, keep in mind, I just got off of Oscar month, where I've been super critical of everything I've been watching. Um, so that's just like that's probably one of the high. That's like one of the highest scores I gave. Even with the movies, like
Really?
yeah, I mean there was maybe one movie I gave like a 9 or something. I can't remember if I did or not. Um, but yeah, I mean our highest out of the 9 movies we did, the highest like because we averaged the scores out. The highest score we gave was an 8.5.
Oh wow.
So it was yeah. So I mean 8.4. That's good in my book. 8.4 to 9. Do you want to average this one out, or you just want to leave it at that?
We can average it out, I guess.
Okay.
I just want to say, James Delaney, I gave you a 9. He's the one that gave you an 8.4. So when you do some really weird black voodoo magic to shadow rape somebody, make sure you end up at his house.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we both give it an 8.7, which is what it averages out to.
Well, hopefully he's happy with 8.7.
I think he will be.
Yeah, so I mean, FX can use our rating to be like the, I guess, deciding factor if they should pick it up for season 2. I think if you get a show gets an 8.7 from us, you should get a second season of it.
We know what we're talking about. I mean,
Yeah,
on the Oscar podcast, we picked the winner. So you know,
exactly. So listen to Bingeaholic Anonymous. Listen to our opinion over anything else.
Yeah, we're not the movie and TV critics that you guys deserve, but you're the ones that we need.
Yeah,
Is that how it goes? The Batman say?
yeah, it's yeah. We don't deserve, like, I don't know. You're the hero we don't deserve, but we need, or yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
yeah. Um,
They don't deserve us, but they need us. That was your point.
exactly,
Yeah. Okay.
exactly. They definitely don't deserve us, but they
Yeah.
need
No.
us. Um, I had an ad for this episode. Um, but I'm drawing a blank.
um. All right. I'll do an ad and see if you remember yours. Uh, my ad uh is for Horizon Zero Dawn. Just came out yesterday for the PS4. Uh, I haven't played it yet, but it got really high reviews from like everybody. Everybody's saying it's really good, and it features a very strong female character. So all you feminists that get very upset at male leads, here's a game for you.
Perfect. Does she is she the kind of female lead character like what's her face? Lara Croft, like Tomb Raider.
Basically, but not as revealing in outfits.
Oh man,
Yeah, but basically, yeah, she's like super badass. But yeah, it's apparently really good. It's a brand new IP from the same people that made Killzone.
okay,
Um, and people are like fucking going nuts over it.
interesting.
I haven't. Basically, the premise is just like, there's tribes of humans, and the whole planet is like overrun by robot dinosaurs. And maybe that sounds kind of dumb on paper, but apparently it plays out really well. And you play this female character who is part of one of these tribes, and nobody knows like what happened as to why, like, robot dinosaurs kind of rule the world, I guess. But the fighting system is really good, where like you have to like kind of like Far Cry when you play, like you have to hunt animals and shit. Like you have to hunt them. They all have weaknesses and strengths. You have to like really pick your battles, figure out strategies. So um, apparently does a really good job at mixing gameplay with the story um, and the difficultness for it. So
Well, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds outrageous. Um,
it's
but
been getting like nines. And I'm not saying like nines from like IGN, because fuck you guys. I know you get paid for your scores. But
yeah,
like the
have some
one,
integrity. Respect the craft.
yeah. The other review ones that are kind of like real dickholes to games are even liking it. So
Oh well, I'm down for anything. I'll give anything a shot once.
yeah, I know you always want it to be a female character in a video game.
Yeah, either that or a big black guy. I always make my characters in video games big black guys that are just horribly deformed in the face.
That's true. I've witnessed them firsthand
I
plenty of
make
times.
I make the biggest, ugliest, blackest guy I possibly can. Um, you know,
Do
it
you
is what it
imagine
is.
what your guy would look like in GTA 5 if their character system wasn't so fucking horrendous when you made it?
It would have been majestic. It would have been
Like,
majestic, like in FIFA.
yeah, I was gonna say like in FIFA. Oh
I
my
got
god,
like I got like two lazy eyes and like a broken nose. My
crooked lips.
my mouth looks like I just had a stroke.
It's great. It's great when you face the camera after you like score or something. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you remember your ad?
No,
Okay, good.
It probably would have been way better than you're at anyway.
I mean, I really didn't plan on doing an ad, but I just didn't want to like not have an ad.
I
and I
like.
didn't really have anything.
I
I just
had I had something, but I don't think it was like it was. I couldn't even tell you what it was. It wasn't like anything good though.
just
But
completely forgot.
yeah, you that so that's how you know it wasn't like a real ad because but yeah, so that puts Taboo season 8 in the books, season 1 in the books, episode 8 in the books.
I
In the
was gonna say
books,
season 8. Holy shit!
we jumped ahead a little bit. Yeah, so that's that. Um, Monday we'll have Billions coming out
Yep.
for episode 3. Then on Tuesday, I think we're gonna have a Walking Dead episode coming out. Um, I think we're gonna just do an episode every 2 weeks with that, just because if anyone here watched Walking Dead the last episode, nothing much really happened, and I'm like sitting down to record a whole podcast about nothing. So, and also this way, I'll spend less time yelling about how that show has just gone down the toilet. Save my blood pressure from the, you know, from the spike. Uh, yeah. So, and Taryn, our new feature, our new series director's cut should be coming out soon. We don't not sure exactly when we're going to record the first episode, but it will be within the next week. We're doing Tarantino for that. First movie is Death Proof, underrated Tarantino movie. Not a lot of people know about it. I've already watched it multiple times. Um, yeah, so I'm excited for that. Make sure you guys go check out our Facebook, Bingeaholics Anonymous, Instagram,
Twitter.
Bingeaholic,
Oh,
Instagram,
I'm sorry.
Instagram.
iTunes and our website too. I haven't done it in a while, so I feel like I should every once in a while I should
Yeah,
with it.
yeah. But you just said Twitter, iTunes, and website. You didn't like say what they were. Now I got to redo it all over again.
Well, that was the point of it, to make you have to go redo it.
Facebook, Bingeaholics Anonymous. Instagram, Bingeaholics_Anonymous. Twitter, Bingeaholics at Bingeaholics. iTunes, Bingeaholics Anonymous. Website, BingeaholicsAnonymous.com. There is a theme, people. You're easy to find as long as you know how to spell our name. I can understand that might be a little difficult because Bingeaholics is a made-up word. But yeah, anything for the good folks at home before we cut it loose?
No, just go watch Taboo if you haven't. You should have been watching it.
And if you listen this far into the podcast, you really should have been watching it. That's on you.
Yeah, if you've been watching, listening to the podcast the whole time and you haven't watched it, I don't really know why you're doing that. But yeah, go watch that. Look forward to Billions. If you haven't watched Billions yet, go catch up on the 2 episodes if you haven't watched season 2. If you haven't watched season 1, go watch that. You can go find all the episodes, binge watch the shit out of that. Don't binge responsibly because that's an amazing show, and you definitely want to catch up so you can listen and keep up with us on our podcast. So go do that.
Yeah. Billions is only 14 total episodes, including first and second season. So
Yep.
definitely doable. Maybe not by this episode on Sunday, but definitely by the next one. If you pace it out, you could do like an episode and a half a day. I don't know what kind of psycho would watch half an episode.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at that point you might as well just commit to 2 episodes.
Yeah, well, maybe like it's an average. So let's say like on a Monday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday you do one, and then like even a Thursday you do one, and like Friday, Saturday, Sunday you do 2. You knock out 6 right there, plus the 3 from earlier. That makes it 9, or no, that makes it 10 because the 4 days. So you just got 2 more, and then you can just get. If you really wanted to, you could catch up by Sunday. Actually,
Yeah.
no, because it's Wednesday right now. But you could catch up. You could do 3 a night, catch up by Sunday if you're crazy enough.
Yeah.
Like
It's good enough that you're not gonna want to just watch one episode. Believe me.
Yeah.
Want to watch at least two, and then if you're really crazy after that second one, you might be like, I'm gonna watch the third one. Then
Yeah.
before you know it, you watched all of them. You called out sick to work, and then you're caught up.
And then you're fired. And then you got all the time in the world to watch these episodes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go
yeah.
do that.
So, seriously, though, go binge responsibly. Okay? I don't want anyone losing their jobs and then them blaming me on it, and then I have to deal with that shit. I got enough of my own problems, okay? I don't need your fucking problems, too. Yeah. So, just binge responsibly.